Hey, Lee Robinson here at American Sentinel K9. I wanted to make a video to discuss behavior as it relates to different stimulus and how thresholds can be stimulated by both nature and nurture. So let's just, you could pick pretty much any type of drive if you get into drive theory. A lot of people use drive theory. That's, some people debate about that. I don't want to get into whether or not drive theory is correct. We're just going to use it as an example though. Okay, so let's say this is prey drive. Prey is the stimulus and hunting is the response. So maybe there's no prey, or the prey is stationary, so no movement, and so the animal, the predator, is calm or is not hunting because it can't see anything, smell anything, or detect any type of prey item. So there's no hunting behavior. Then the prey becomes visible. The prey maybe moves and runs, and then we see hunting behavior displayed. And then maybe the prey runs too fast, it gets away, and the predator knows it can't catch it, so it lets it run away and quits. So we have three different behaviors: passive, hunting, and then quitting. All right. You can do the same thing with defense drive if you want to. You could have some sort of no threat, no concern. Then you have a mild threat to a strong threat, and you get fighting behavior. And then you have extreme threat, and you get flight or freeze. So three different behaviors, again, to the same stimulus. Now, this blue curve, let's say, represents the average individual in the average population. Well, nature versus nurture affects this a little differently. So what we're going to do is we're going to show how this curve could be modified. So let me have them overlap here for just a second, the best that I can. You'll get the idea. So what breeding does is it allows this curve to be shifted either to a stronger dog that has higher drives or higher thresholds, or it can also be used to create a weaker dog, which of course we want to avoid in the working community. And it can also do a little bit of both by moving the curve this way, a dog that's more stimulated, or a dog here with less drive. So this would be more drive, and then this would be less drive. So that's what breeding does. Now training allows the angle of the curve to be shifted, because through classical conditioning, what we do is we create expectations. And when we create expectations, these dotted lines will move like to the left, or these curves will move to the left. So as we build association, the animal predicts the stimulus to come, which causes the curve to move to the left. That's what classical conditioning does, or associative learning. Operant conditioning can do either. It can move it to the left or to the right. And the reason why it can do that is because if you reward the behavior, you're going to strengthen the behavior, increase the likelihood of the behavior being displayed. If you punish the behavior, you're going to decrease the likelihood of the behavior being displayed. So let's say you reward fighting, you'll and punish fight or freeze, you might be able to move this curve to the left. But if you see a dog freeze and then you quit stimulating it, then you've actually rewarded the freeze, and the curve can move to the right. So that it would be like tilting it. So that's different. Now you can, with proper training, you can do this again, because you can use classical conditioning to move the left side to the left to build an expectation of stimulus, and then you can use operant conditioning and reward to strengthen the side on the right. And that's what a good trainer tries to do, is increase the expressed behavior on a command. Now ultimately, the ideal would be no drop. The ideal would be to go up and stay up for the desired behavior until you give a command to shut it down. And then of course the command would drop the behavior instantly. Of course that is asking a lot, but that would be the ideal. Now, let's assume that the elevated position is the desired behavior. Behavior B, let's say, is the desired behavior. If that's the case, then the more things that cause a dog to display that behavior, the more drives that you have. Like let's say this is prey drive, and let's say this is defense drive. Well, weak nerve dogs that are defensive are oftentimes down here. But just like there are weak prey dogs and there are strong prey dogs, there can also be weak defensive dogs and strong defensive dogs. But strong defensive dogs are kind of hard to find because you don't really see a lot of threat display when the stimulus is low. You have to kind of get them going with a heavy threat, and then you'll find that they have a lot of capability. But through associative learning, you pull this left side of the curve over to the left without moving the right, and you get a very capable dog. And that's the difference between breeding and training. I hope that y'all enjoyed the video.